Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to our next episode of Tuesday Night Raw here in our WWE 2K16 Universe mode. Now you might realise by the calendar right there that we have now completely finished with our Nitro and Thunder rosters. You can check them out. We did upload Elimination Chamber yesterday, and what a fantastic finish it was for both Nitro and SmackDown, and Nitro and Thunder should I say. And Raw and SmackDown will both be finishing up in a couple of weeks' time at that Battleground pay-per-view, as you can see there, in week number 4 of this month. I'm hopefully going to try and get that uploaded a little bit quicker, although it might end up being a couple of weeks, because then it gives me a chance backstage to get our new universe mode ready without creating a massive gap between the two, because obviously you can only make so many downloads per day. So yeah, that'd be pretty good. But enough of that, let's have a quick look at tonight's card. Now, if you haven't watched last week's episode, I do suggest you go back and check that one out first, because there was a very spectacular ending to that episode that obviously I probably will be giving out the results to during this episode. I'll probably be giving the results out in a few minutes actually when we go through this card, but it was definitely worth a watch. A big surprise happened, and yeah, it's a bit of a shocker really. So we're going to start tonight's episode off with a fatal 4-way match. We've got Jack Jester, John Cena, Mankind and Christopher Gerrard. The second match is going to be Nikki Storm in the ring with Nia Jax and Asuka. That'd be an interesting one. Nikki Storm, of course, the Raw champion. That could have been a Raw Championship win, a Raw Women's Championship match, but it's not. Maybe if there is a result that goes either way next week, we can maybe line that up. Who knows? After that, we have the Giants, the Big Show and Andre the Giant taking on the Nation of Domination's D'Lo Brown and Kama Mustafa. Then we've got Damien Sandow, or Damien Mizdow as he is in this game, taking on Bam Bam Bigelow. Then we have got the Raw Tag Team Champions Edge and Christian taking on the number 1 contenders Tama, Tonga and Tanga the Empire. Then we have got Cesaro, the European Champion, taking on the number 1 contender for that, Tommy End. And then in our main event, the interesting one, of course, last week The Rock entered the match as the Raw Champion. He then lost the match to Owen Hart due to distractions by Goldberg. And then out came Daniel Bryan and cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and won the championship. So a pretty hectic week it was for The Rock. And of course, we have now announced that at Battleground next week, we are going to have The Rock versus Goldberg versus Owen Hart versus Daniel Bryan for the Raw Championship. And this evening, The Rock gets a chance to go one-on-one with Goldberg. Well, I say one-on-one, of course, D'Lo Brown will be at ringside as well. So we are going to watch just the 3 matches from this episode, so we're just going to watch the last 3. We're going to skip this one, a win for John Cena over Mankind, no big surprise there. A win for Nikki Storm over Asuka, so that's a decent win for Nikki Storm. Somebody who we should be seeing in NXT very, very soon as well. We've got the Giants versus the Nation of Domination. Good win there by Nation of Domination. And then finally Mizdow versus Bam Bam Bigelow. It's a win for Bam Bam Bigelow. So that leaves us with the 3 matches. The tag match, the European Championship, well, non-title match. And then Goldberg versus The Rock. So without further ado, let's get straight into our opening match of the episode. Wow, my telly's on loud. That was really loud, that was. You turn it down. Yes, our first match of the episode is going to be the Tag Team Champions Edge and Christian taking on the number 1 contenders for those Tag Team Championships, the Empire's Tama Tonga and Tanga. And here we go. This match could be very important actually, because it could really build the momentum for either of these two teams going forward into the Battleground pay-per-view in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, Edge and Christian have held these belts now for quite a while. They've been quite a force to reckon with. And the Empire, the most recent team, looking to challenge them and hoping that they can pull off something that a lot of teams haven't been able to, including the Sumerian Death Squad, one of my favourite tag teams. And of course, Tommy End will be joining NXT pretty soon. Tommy End from Sumerian Death Squad, we'll see him in the next match against Cesaro as well. And I know I mention it every episode, but I'm just that excited to see Tommy End in WWE. That's why I mention it every single episode. So I just marked down on my piece of paper who won the last matches so I don't forget. Yes, there we go. So Edge and Christian inside the ring awaiting the entrance, and here they are. There's Tama Tonga and his partner Tanga as they hop over the barricades. And I think these two guys, the Shield entrance really does suit them. I quite like it actually. So like I said, there's only be 2 episodes uploaded this week. We've got Raw today, we'll have SmackDown uploaded on Friday, then Raw again on next Monday, then SmackDown again next Friday. I'm going to try and get them uploaded earlier than that, like I said, because I want to try and get this new universe mode sorted as soon as possible. However, it might take me a couple of weeks to get everything I need, all the rosters, everything sorted, the championships and the correct logos, the new arenas and everything like that. So it might take me 2 weeks, but if I can get uploaded quicker, I will do. And because I really want to get into this new universe, man. I'm looking forward to getting into it, actually. I'm really looking forward to NXT, because since the last time we've done an NXT roster, we've now got Nakamura, we've got Austin Aries, we've got Oni Lockrun, or Biff Busick, if you will, or Christopher Gerrard, as he's known in this roster. Got No Way Jose, we got Andrade Cien Almas as well. So we've got quite a few new people. Of course, there's quite a few left as well. Finn Balor's no longer there. American Alpha's no longer there. Carmella, Alexa Bliss are no longer there. Apollo Crews is no longer there. Of course, we've got Bobby Roode added now as well. And a few of the Cruiserweight Classic guys I feel that we can add. I think Ibushi is one that it looks like WWE have signed. So I think we can be pretty safe to assume that we can add Ibushi in. Maybe we won't use him too much until we've got an official line that he has been signed. Same with Cedric Alexander. I think the same sort of thing. We can probably use him a bit more as time goes on. Guys like Zack, well, I think Zack Sabre Jr. was offered a contract, but he had to refuse. I'm not sure why, but they said he had some personal issues that meant he couldn't sign the contract this year, but he would be able to next year. So that's an interesting one. Not quite sure why that is the way it is. I would love to see Zack Sabre Jr. in WWE. Not quite sure what those reasons are. Maybe it's to do with contractual obligations, maybe rather than personal, like you said. Same sort of thing with Ricochet. Ricochet is now contractually obliged by Lucha Underground to not be involved in any US-based televisual programming until his last appearance with Lucha Underground, which is going to be Ultima Lucha 3, which obviously Ultima Lucha 2 only aired a couple of weeks back, so we've still got another full season of Lucha Underground, and I believe that is going to be around about January, February next year, they've said. So maybe early next year we could be seeing the introduction of Zack Sabre Jr. and Ricochet both into WWE, which would be an incredible double signing, wouldn't it really? But this year, if you look at the fact that they're potentially going to get Ibushi, I think Tajiri and Kendrick are being signed up as well to join the Raw roster. I think just to be more established names for the Cruiserweight division. They probably won't last too long, just enough time to really help put over the other talent. I don't know if Paul London's going to be involved as well in that. Wouldn't surprise me if he was. And there was a few others as well. Noam Dar, I think, obviously speaking Hebrew, is probably a big advantage for him. Because it really adds an extra part to WWE's sort of things that they can do. Of course, if WWE go and do a live show in somewhere like Israel where Hebrew is pretty well spoken, then Noam Dar could really do well with putting over a Hebrew promo. And there was a few others as well, I think, had already been offered deals. Cedric Alexander, like I said, who left his Ring of Honor deal just to be over here. Edge with the pin after the execution. Christine comes across, taking out Tanga Roa. And there's a 3 count already. A quick victory here by Edge and Christian. And the momentum is firmly in their side. Edge catching Tama Tonga with the execution. And Christian did a fantastic job of coming across the ring and catching Tanga Roa with the twisting neckbreaker. And I do apologise, I don't think I spoke barely anything about this match at all this evening, but we tend to go off on tangents, don't we? Well, I tend to go off on tangents, you're not here to talk to me, but I tend to go off on tangents and really just, disappear off into certain places. And I feel that was a good... I've had this conversation with myself so many times now. I'm quite enjoying the Global Cruiserweight Championship, and the idea of seeing quite a few of those guys remaining in WWE, either in NXT or moving up onto Raw with the new Cruiserweight division is very good. And there you go. You see Edge with the pin. Christian comes across and catches Tanga Roa with that twisting neckbreaker and then flips back up onto his feet, just defying the laws of gravity there, Christian. And it's a great win here for Edge and Christian. It looks to me like these two guys could end up walking out of this universe mode with those tag team championships. At the moment, they're looking unbeatable, aren't they? Just absolutely fantastic ability between the two of them. Just such a fantastic team. And that's the sort of level of teamwork you get with working together for so many years. And here is the rivalry update. And like I was saying, just look at Christian's status effects there. 4 momentum boosts and a hot streak now. Tama Tonga's got nothing. Edge again, 4 momentum boosts and a hot streak. And I think Edge is already the highest rated person on there as well. And Tanga Roa again, nothing on there. So really Edge and Christian just really dominating this feud. And I'm just a bit confused there. I just noticed down the enemy screen, Tama Tonga is an enemy, but Tangaroa isn't for these two guys. Whereas Tama Tonga and Tangaroa both got... Well, Tama Tonga has got Edge and Christian as enemies. Tangaroa hasn't got either of them as enemies yet. Oh, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Ah, don't matter. I'm sure it'll even out as time goes on. And here is our second match of the evening. It's going to be the European champion Cesaro taking on the #1 contender, Tommy End. And here we go. Well, Tommy End's not wasting any time at all. He comes straight out and just attacking Cesaro. Tommy End getting a real start on this one. He does not want to wait for the bell to ring. The bell finally does ring, and now Tommy End can continue his assault on the grounded Cesaro. And here you see Tommy End just a kick to the chest of Cesaro. Cesaro just all the air leaving his lungs, and a big roundhouse to the side of the head to knock Cesaro down. That could be enough to finish him off. There's the pin by Tommy End. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Wow, what incredible that would have been if it was a 3 count straight away. Tommy End can't believe it, but the damage done to Cesaro. Great ace crusher there by Tommy End. Now he's up on the top rope. He loves to utilize the double foot stomp as well. Lining it up. Coup de grace on Cesaro. Tommy End. 1, 2. Oh my word. Wow. Tommy End not getting paid by the hour here, is he? We're going to have our shortest ever episode here at this rate. Tommy End has just come out of here and absolutely decimated the European champion Cesaro. Tommy End has picked a fantastic time to find a vein of form now. He's only a couple of weeks away from that big European Championship match at Battleground, and he's proven here exactly why he's going to be in that match. You see that big kicking combination was only enough for a 2 count. Cesaro got up, got caught straight away with the ace crusher, and then Tommy End just lining Cesaro up and catching him with that double foot stomp. The coup de grace as used by Finn Balor. And there's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. What an incredible result that is for Tommy End. I've never ever seen a match on this game so quick. I know obviously when he gets that little cutscene he comes out with a signature built up. But normally you get your signature and you get your finisher maneuver. And it doesn't warrant enough to get a free count. So this is the first time I've ever seen this in this game. Wow. Great win here for Tommy End, and this could end up being a very short episode. And here is the rivalry update. New #1 contender. Well, we'd already said he was a #1 contender anyway, but Tommy End has been named the new #1 contender after a strong showing. We'll scratch that, and just decimation in a non-championship match against the champion Cesaro. Cesaro now lost all his hot streaks. He is now just on 1 momentum boost. Tommy End is on some sort of craziness, but he has now gained a hot streak as well. And if he can continue this on, he could walk away with the European Championship at Battleground. And here is our main event. It is going to be Goldberg, who was the #1 contender to The Rock's championship until The Rock lost it last week to the Money in the Bank winner, Daniel Bryan. Now Goldberg is going to face The Rock one-on-one. Both of these guys knowing they are going to be involved in the Fatal 4-Way match at Battleground for that Raw Championship. And of course, D'Lo Brown will be at ringside for a little bit of, in inverted commas, support to The Rock. And here we go. Los Angeles, California. That was terrible, man. And we have the entrance here of Goldberg. I should imagine Goldberg is probably pretty annoyed, really. He was locked in for a match against The Rock at Battleground to win, or to go for, shall I say at least, the championship. The Raw Championship. Then The Rock not only lost to not only lost to Owen Hart last week, but also then lost his championship to Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan cashed in that Money in the Bank after the match. So it's been a pretty crazy time for The Rock, but Goldberg is pretty annoyed that now all of a sudden his one-on-one championship match has now turned into a Fatal 4-Way. And I'm assuming he's going to be taking out his anger and his annoyance on The Rock here this evening. Goldberg channeling the spirit of Triple H. Well, at least on next year's game, we're going to get Goldberg as an actual wrestler. Well, I'm going to get Goldberg because I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the NXT edition now, so I have got Goldberg, I've got Nakamura, and I've got Goldberg, I've got Nakamura, I've got Apollo Crews, and I've got Nia Jax. All part of the game straight away. Which is going to help me out because I always fill up my created wrestlers straight away. So by having those 4 on the game, that's 4 less creative wrestlers I have to get. And if you think that we're going to more than likely have AJ Styles, and I'm hoping Austin Aries as well. There's no reason why we've got Shinsuke Nakamura, not Austin Aries. I should imagine we're going to have Bayley on there, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, the other one, Becky Lynch. I think Alexa Bliss is on the case of the NXT edition, as are both members of the Revival. I would imagine Jason Jordan and Chad Gable are going to be on there as well. All of a sudden, big chunk of people that I've been downloading from NXT are now all going to be on the game, which is fantastic to see. Because it means I might be able to do a little bit more mixing and matching with our created wrestlers and hopefully be able to put on a pretty good universe mode, as well as obviously redoing the random match series as well. I'm going to try and do some more of the random match series coming up soon. We're cutting down on the universe mode recordings. That should become a lot easier for us. So D'Lo Brown making his way to ringside here to help The Rock. Now I would like in 2K17 if 2K could implement something in the rivalry system where stablemates, such as D'Lo Brown here, would automatically come out as part of the rivalry as a manager for their especially as a heel. As a heel, I think you should have one of your stablemates come out and join you. And I think it used to be on one of the old, I didn't like this SmackDown 2 or something like that, or SmackDown Here Comes the Pain or something like that. They used to have a stable system where you create your own stables. We also had a manager system as well. So you used to go in there and used to say, for example, Paul Heyman is Brock Lesnar's manager. And then every single match that Brock Lesnar was booked in the universe mode, or the season mode it was called back then, Paul Heyman would be at ringside for Brock Lesnar. And that would be such a really good thing to have back now, because I would love to have that. I would love to say that every time Andre the Giant comes out, Bobby the Brain Heenan will be there with him, or every time Yokozuna comes out, Mr. Fuji will be there. Or just like this, every time The Rock from the Nation of Domination comes out, D'Lo Brown will be there. And I think again it'll be really handy to have. Or every time Blake and Murphy come out, Alexa Bliss. Well, that's not the case anymore, obviously, but Enzo and Cass could have Carmella, and it would really just make the game feel a little bit more realistic without having to. Because of course, if you change a match that's a rivalry match, it deletes the rivalry, which is very annoying. Which is why I put Daniel Bryan to cash in the Money in the Bank last week, and it instantly deleted the rivalry between The Rock and Goldberg, which wasn't a major problem. Big right hand there by Goldberg, and another big uppercut as well. The Rock now with that belly-to-belly slam. I'm hoping this match is going to last a little bit longer than the previous two, because the previous two were just shockingly short, weren't they? That Tommy End versus Cesaro match was a bit of a joke. The Rock there, being very cheeky, pinning Goldberg, and then, as the referee came down to count, just lifting his shoulders off the mat. He might live to regret that. Goldberg with a right hand to the gut of The Rock. Now spinning The Rock round into a Saito suplex. Takes him down hard. Goldberg now rolling The Rock over and just slamming him knee first into the mat. Not a good place to be if you're The Rock. Now Goldberg send The Rock into the corner, and so far D'Lo Brown not really had any influence on the match, which was a little bit of a surprise. Boot to the back of the leg of Goldberg. Now I'm trying to wonder what we could do with main event and superstars as well. I'm not sure. I wonder whether we could upload a small video or whether it would actually be any interest to anybody. Because nobody's really interested on main event series. Maybe I could just like put it as part of Raw and SmackDown. Maybe we could have just a little bit beforehand. Or we'll just sim the two matches. We'll just say, look, this is the results from main event this week. So-and-so beat so-and-so and so-and-so beat so-and-so. Now we move on to our episode of SmackDown. And this is what the card is. I think we could do that maybe. I think it'd be good to have main events and superstars just to make it a little bit more realistic, I suppose is the right phrase. Yeah, we could do that. And now, as I was saying, D'Lo Brown hasn't had any effect on the match so far. Here he is getting right in the face of Goldberg and allowing The Rock to come up behind Goldberg. Goldberg, though, reversing that backdrop into a crossbody. Now bringing The Rock back up to his, well, up to a seated position. Now just twisting the head of The Rock. Vicious move there by Goldberg. Slamming The Rock head first into the mat. Now bringing him back up to his feet. Goldberg has The Rock by the neck. We've seen this before. Takes him up into a gorilla press and into a spine buster. That's possibly, I think, my favourite Goldberg move, that one. I do really like that. Pin now, but it's only enough for a 2 count. Goldberg now a front slam there, and D'Lo Brown again up on the apron, but Goldberg did a fantastic job just to ignore him this time. Goldberg now bringing The Rock back up to his feet. Hooks him in. Could we see it? Marching around. There it is. There is the jackhammer. The pin as well. 1, 2. Oh, and just before the referee could go down for a 3 count, D'Lo Brown drags the referee ankles first out of the ring. Goldberg had this match won there, and D'Lo Brown has just saved his stablemate, The Rock. Goldberg could have got into that fatal 4-way match at Battleground with the momentum. And now The Rock has a chance to turn this one round. It just shows you how effective it is to have that manager at ringside. It's a lot more effective than it ever was in 2K15. And I know, I often moan about 2K16, but they have made some big improvements in the quality of matches and the quality of managers as well. I think those 2 improvements have been fantastic. There's just a lot of things they've let slip a little bit this year as well, and hopefully they're going to fix a lot of them coming into next year as well. 2K17 not too far away now, and I'm hoping they've really worked on some of the weaker parts they had from 2K16. It's still a little bit annoying because so far we know nothing. All we know so far is that... who's on the game? I can't remember who it was now. We know something, don't we? Well, we know that Shinsuke Nakamura. We know Sasha Banks, John Cena, and somebody else is on the game. No surprise with the 3 of them though. We also know that Nia Jax, Apollo Crews, and Shinsuke Nakamura are downloadable content, but available straight away if you pre-order the NXT version. And we know that Goldberg's in the game. Apart from that, we don't know anybody else. So it's a little bit tricky to sort of second guess exactly what's going to go on. We don't know. I'm assuming the showcase mode might be to do with Brock Lesnar in this version. I'd imagine they're going to improve the career mode as well, which I might try and have a go at next year. I tried this year, but I failed badly. Goldberg again with that gorilla press into a spinebuster. Very, very slow getting down, but he finally does get down to make the pin. 1, 2, is this going to be enough? And again, The Rock just kicks out. This time, D'Lo Brown couldn't risk putting the referee out again, just in case it was one too many times. Rock now catches Goldberg, takes him up against the ropes. Springs him off. Went for the big clothesline. Goldberg ducked underneath. Rock now bringing Goldberg into the middle of the ring. Oh, a Manhattan drop, I believe that is. I think that is. Or an inverted atomic drop, at least. Clubbing blow against the back there by The Rock. And Goldberg just taking him up straight away into a gorilla press. Rock breaks free into a German suplex. And now just stamping on the knee of Goldberg. Brings him back up to his feet. There's the snapmare. Now here he is now just locking in the headlock as well. Goldberg struggling to break free from this side headlock. And this has given The Rock the chance to really regain a little bit of energy. He's taken quite a bit of a beating so far. Goldberg now sending The Rock into the corner. Clubbing blow against the back. And now it looks like he's going to hoist The Rock up onto that top rope as well. Rock with a back elbow. Into a double axe handle on Goldberg. Now bring Goldberg back up to his feet. Goldberg fighting free there with that right hand though. Another big one as well. And another one. Rock up against the ropes as Goldberg just continues the strikes. And Rock just comes bouncing back and collapsing into the middle of the ring. Rock with a right hand. And now into that DDT by The Rock. Just turn this one round all of a sudden. Rock now, big stomping on the chest of Goldberg. Bringing him back up to his feet. Into a belly-to-belly slam. And The Rock has really done a great job of turning this one round over the last few minutes. I thought Goldberg had this one won. And he did have this one won until D'Lo Brown pulled the referee out the ring via his ankles. Rock now looking for a fisherman's. Goldberg breaks free. Takes The Rock up. I thought he was going to go for a jackhammer then once again, but just throwing The Rock down to the ground. As Goldberg just pummeling the grounded Rock now. Bringing him back up to his feet. Has him by the throat and he's going to look for another one of those gorilla press spine busters. That could be enough. 1, 2, and no, The Rock kicked out again. Both guys now on the outside, and D'Lo Brown, I don't know why, just grabbed a hold of The Rock there, trying to give him a little bit of information there, but Goldberg had crept up behind him. Rock slides back in the ring. And this match has been a lot more competitive than it looked like it was going to be to start off with. Goldberg dominated the first few minutes. Rock now, super backdrop. Goldberg folded in half. Owner for a 2 count. Goldberg powered out of that one. Rock now bringing Goldberg back up to his feet. Goldberg catching Rock though with that knee to the face. Was obviously playing possum down there. Bringing The Rock back up, and Goldberg hooks him in. Takes him up high. This could be it. There's the jackhammer and the pin. Referee's completely on the wrong side of the ring to D'Lo Brown. But D'Lo Brown's got the referee's attention now and again. D'Lo Brown costing Goldberg potentially a win here. D'Lo Brown is doing absolutely wonders for The Rock here at ringside. If it wasn't for D'Lo Brown, I think Goldberg would have won this match a long time ago. Big overhand punch there by Goldberg and another big uppercut. And Goldberg, the strikes are really affecting The Rock now. And you got to think to yourself, D'Lo Brown's doing a great job of helping The Rock not lose this match. But the longer this match goes on, the more power Goldberg puts The Rock under, and the more that The Rock's body is starting to fade away. And you think to yourself, is that a good idea with that Fatal 4-Way only being 2 weeks away? Sometimes living to fight another day might be the best option. But I don't think that's the sort of mindset that goes through these wrestlers. There's the spinebuster by The Rock. As you can see, really struggling for energy now. Drops into the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. The Rock not necessarily deserving it. Let's say that for one. Goldberg, I think, really will be annoyed with that one. Goldberg must have known he probably had that match won twice. And there again, you just see him being distracted by D'Lo Brown. D'Lo just shouting at him from the outside. And that allowed The Rock to constantly creep up behind Goldberg and rebuild some sort of advantage. Try and get the momentum back in the match. There's that. I love that move. It's so good. The gorilla press into the big spine buster. I like that. And Goldberg, just on a couple of occasions, just had this match won, in my opinion. Is this the first or is this the second of the jackhammers? This could be the... That could be the first of the jackhammers. Just keep looking on the referee now. Look, there he goes. Just sucked out the ring. Just grabbed ankle first by D'Lo Brown. And that allowed The Rock again to continue to fight on in this one. And Spinebuster might not seem like a lot, but it's The Rock's signature maneuver. And he'd taken a lot of damage in this match already. And Goldberg finally had to live and let The Rock win this one. And again, it's not a massively bad result for Goldberg. He dominated this match. He doesn't quite get the winning momentum he wanted, but he dominated this match. And he knows without D'Lo Brown at ringside next week at Battleground, this could be a completely different story. The Rock, this time, this episode, smiling and having his hand held high. Last week, a completely different story. Well, guys, that's the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. And, of course, if you have, then please do hit that like button. And, of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. We've got our next episode of SmackDown coming up for you in a few days' time. But, of course, keep an eye on this channel because we will be starting a new universe mode in a couple of weeks when we will be mimicking the new Raw, SmackDown and NXT rosters. I've been Shepherd Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.